Well, hey kids, hey parents, I hope that your November has started well. I'm glad that you guys are watching today and talking about God's truth and trying to work it into the details of your life. Well, today, as we keep moving through the Old Testament, we've got a very famous, well-known story. And it's one that Jesus himself even mentioned. It's about Jonah, the prophet. See, God sent Jonah to go give a message to some really bad people. And Jonah didn't want to go. I think Jonah maybe knew that they were going to come and do bad things to Israel one day. And so, for whatever the reason, he did not want to go. He ran away from God. But God had compassion even on these really bad people. And when I say bad, like you just don't know how bad they were. They were. You would not want them as your neighbors because they'd probably burn your house down and kill you. Okay? And so Jonah didn't have compassion on them, but God did. And God has compassion on all. The good news of Jesus is for anyone, no matter what color their skin, no matter where they're from or what their past is. If they will trust Jesus and turn from their sin, then God will bring them into his family. But Jonah, he had trouble with that. Now I've got something today to help us. Okay, so you see these pennies that I've got here. Some of them are in good shape, and some of them are pretty dingy and nasty. But how much are those pennies worth? How much is this dirty one worth? It's worth a penny. It's worth 1 cent. Well, this one's nice and shiny. Maybe that one's better. But still, it says on the back, 1 cent. See, they're all worth the same. Now, let's do something here. We use vinegar a lot in these. So we got some vinegar. Let's pour that in. Okay. And then some salt. The salt of the earth. Don't drink this if you try this at home. Okay, some of these, they have improved. Even this one was the worst one, and it's better than it was. And probably if I would have measured it and let it sit for longer, you'd be able to tell some difference. But how much are these 2 pennies worth? Is this shinier one worth more? Even though they've been cleaned up, it doesn't make them worth more. See, these have Abraham Lincoln's image stamped on them. You and I have God's image stamped on us. And the reason that we're valuable, each of us, whether we're dirty in sin or whether we're actually kind of good, nice people, we're worth the same to God because we have his image. We're male and female in his image. Not because of where we came from or because of other things, but because God made us. That's what makes us special. And that's why Jesus died for us, to rescue us. See, God has that kind of compassion and concern for all people. How about you? What kind of compassion and concern do you have? Do you treat people differently based on maybe how they look or where they're from? Do you treat them and view them like God does? Those are some things for you to talk about as a family, about how you treat one another or people outside your family or outside your group that may be different than you. Do you view them like God does? And remind each other of the truth that God views them the same and views you just like them. You're no better and they're no better than you. So take comfort in that and look to love and act like God towards others. So be encouraged by that, help each other with that. And also have one more thing to leave you with, and it's the word of the week. You probably ate a lot of candy this past week, and so I hope that you don't have cavities. Cavities is your word for the week. Have a good day.